Hello everyone, this is Mr. Crozier. I want to give you some help on your homework problems today. This is a continuation of Geometry Notes 11.1. Just put it on the back of your notes from yesterday. We have a circumference problem here, and we have two formulas for circumference. Circumference is 2 pi r, or pi times the diameter. We have arc length, which is 2 pi r times this percentage. But we can also look at arc length a different way. The arc is part of the circumference, just like the theta is part of 360. It's a proportion. Arc is part of the circumference, theta is part of 360. The arc is part of the circumference, theta is part of 360. This is going to help us solve some problems on arc length later on here. Alright, so here we go. Number A, or letter A. Let's go ahead and do these and see what we can get on here. We have a circle and we got to find the diameter. Well, we know the circumference and diameter. Here's how they're related. So I just simply put circumference equals pi times the diameter. Circumference is 240. Pi times the diameter. Draw a line, divide that over, and the exact answer is 240 divided by pi. If we wanted approximation, we could just divide it by 3.14, and we'd have about 76.43. Alright, on the next one we have a radius of 18. We have to find this arc length right here. We know it's 39 for a measure, so it's 39 degrees, but we don't want that. We want the length of it. So we use this arc formula. Arc formula is 2 pi r times theta over 360. So the arc is 2 pi r is 18 times 39 out of 360, and that can be done in one nice step here. 2 times 3.14 times 18 times 39 divided by 360. There's everything I have. Enter. 12.25. Alright, going down here, now we have a different arc length problem. This is where we're going to use this other formula right here. We're going to use this formula right here that says the arc, which is 18, matches the circumference, which is 2 pi r, just like 60 matches 360. So there's the 60 out of 360. This is part of 360, just like this is part of the circumference. Now just do some math. Let's do some cross multiplication. 18 times 360 is 6480. And over here, 2 times that, what is that? 120 pi r. These two equal those two, and now we just take 6480, divide it by 120, divide it by pi, and there you have your radius. The radius is about 17.89. Alright, a really common problem here is a bicycle problem. They give you this bicycle and they tell you the radius is 25, so that's 25. And how many meters are in 75 revolutions? So this spins around 75 times. Well, let's find the circumference. The circumference is pi. Let's use this bottom one. Pi times the diameter. Well, the diameter would be 50. So there's my circumference. Pi 3.14 times 50. 157. However, this is in centimeters. Well, let's go ahead and do one more step first. That's how far is one rotation of the tire, but we're rotating 75 times. So I'm going to multiply this by 75 times 75, and there we have it. When this bike tire goes around 75 times, it's been 75 of those. However, this is in centimeters, and the question asks for meters. So 100 centimeters is 1 meter. So I have to write it like this, cross this off, divide this by 100, and there we have it, 117.75 meters. Classic problems about bicycles. Alright, problem E. There's one problem on your homework that it gives you this equation. It says, what's a circumference? Well, if you go to Desmos and type this in exactly like this, it will make a circle. And what you'll see is you'll see a circle and you'll be able to count the radius and it will be 4. I'll give you that clue right there. It will be 4. And I'll give you a clue right here. If this is your equation, you just take the square root of this and that's your R value. So it is 4. Just graph it, look at it, and do that. So now we have the circumference is pi times the diameter. I think that one's easier. So if that's the radius, then the diameter is 8 pi. I'm just going to leave that one as 8 pi. Maybe you need to multiply it and find it estimation, but we can just leave it like that. Alright, last problem I want to do is talks about a semicircle. There's a semicircle, and you're going to have to graph this from point 32, which is right there, to point 92. That's 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 9, 2. So there's a semicircle, and it looks like that. And we got to find the circumference. So the circumference is what? Pi times the diameter. However, we're dividing it by 2 because it's only a circumference. Or sorry, it's only a semicircle, half of it. Well, pi is pi. What's the diameter? Well, the diameter goes from 3 to 6, or 3 to 9, so that's 6 right there. So that is 6 divided by 2. So you're going to have to graph this so you can see the picture and count this. You can graph them on decimals, you can graph them by hand, but you have to graph it, see it, write the equation. And what would that be? That'd just be 3 pi. And again, you can multiply it if you need to, but I'm going to leave it like that. There are some problems where maybe if the semicircle was, I'll give you another clue, I know there's a problem where the semicircle looks like this, and you have to find this. Well, if you make a right triangle, remember you could go a squared plus b squared equals c squared. And one last formula you're going to need, 1/2 base times height is a triangle. So if this triangle is 8 by 10, the area is 1/2 8 times 10, which is 40. So that's a review formula there. There you should know. Alright, this should help you get through your big ideas. If you have any questions, we'll go over them when I get back.